Ladies and gentlemen, it is a sunny Saturday afternoon here at Kaplan Field. I'm Lucas Stackpole. With me, as usual, my good friend Bob Hauk. We're bringing you the first of two soccer games tonight. The women's Mount St. Mary Knights taking on the Manhattanville Valiants, and the men's team, coincidentally, taking on the Manhattanville Valiants later today. Beautiful Saturday afternoon. It is alumni weekend, so the crowds are out and about. Bob, do we have any match notes?
Most certainly, and just have to point out how gorgeous it is amongst this horizon, the Beacon Mountain looking wonderful as usual, very blue sky, so it should be a nice day, no weather to affect the match. A tale of the same coin, two different sides. Both sides do average about 3 goals a match. That is inflated by both of their bouts against Yeshiva. Manhattanville scored 12, Mount scored 20, so if you take away that game, both sides have scored 10 and 9 goals respectively, so it's going to be a tale of the Mount's defense against the Valiant's offense, because the Valiants are either feast or famine, and the Mount are a very close side to play.
So, Bob, we should be in for a good one. I mean, again, we're going to keep harping on it because the last 2 games we've done, the weather has been awful. We did a men's game on Wednesday and a men's game the Wednesday before, and it was raining or going to rain on both occasions. So Bob and I are going to soak in the nice weather. And this is also the first women's game you and I have done in almost 4 weeks. The last game we did, September 3rd.
It has definitely been a minute, so we'll have to see how the women have improved. Lily Tanko and Caitlin Hansen still sitting amongst the top scorers, 4 goals apiece, so look out for the goal-scoring tandem today. See what they can get going on this wonderful sunny Saturday afternoon.
Beautiful afternoon. One thing I'm not a fan of, lanternflies, invasive species. Again, as we've mentioned a few times on the broadcast, Bob and I, we are in an open-air broadcast booth, meaning we're at the mercy of the weather, the bugs, the people, and the lanternflies have not been kind to us to open the game so far.
Certainly not. You can see just across the field, our wonderful PA people have a nice little booth they can sit in, and we don't have any windscreens like that, so we are completely at the mercy of any cars or people or bugs that come by.
We have a tailgate folding table, so Bob and I we make the best of what we do. I like to think we do an all right job.
No complaints just yet, as we always say.
So the Valiants in black with maroon striping, and your Knights in white with the blue piping.
Knights on the right side will be attacking to your left. The Valiants on the left attacking to your right. So welcome on in. The music dies down, and this ball will be kicked off in just a moment. The Valiants to start.
Set to do the kicking, Gianna Kufari from Stony Point, New York. We appear all ready for some soccer. The referees just confirming. The whistle sounds, and Bob, it's time to party. It is a gorgeous Saturday afternoon, Bob. I am stoked about the weather.
It really is. Sunny and 75, can't mention it enough. And as this game starts and kicks off, unless I'm completely mistaken and I play too much FIFA, I'm looking at 2 4-3-3s from each side, so we should be seeing quite a bit of passing today.
So the Valiants, the ball finds its way all the way backfield to the goalkeeper, Alexa Bennett. Bennett gets it to, oh my goodness, Kayla Vasilkiadi. There's always a name that you have to look twice at.
Here we go. Heads up. Welcome back, Lucas.
Welcome back. There's always a name or two that keeps us on our toes up here in the broadcast booth, and I think we found ours.
Who's the young lady that week 1 that we were calling the password? She had a crazy name.
I can't remember her first name, but her last name was Joki, I remember.
Yep. Oh, my goodness gracious.
But it wasn't pronounced anything like how it was spelled.
It was like DJKOKJ something.
It was
something ridiculous.
It was a bowl of alphabet soup is what it was.
It sounded like a Czech name, for sure.
Something along some kinds. Good defense there from Grace Mora, as that one ends up
European.
Out of play. And the ball will end up with the Knights for the first time this afternoon. Correction, it will not. So here come the Valiants pushing to the right side of your screen. The throw-in comes.
Sorry, there was a spider on my water bottle. Apologies for the noise.
Once again, circling back to the open-air broadcast booth.
Hear everything. Everything.
Another throw-in for the Valiants. Header by the defense. Bounces around a couple of times. Neither side yet to come away with it. Still bouncing around. Baldwin sends it upfield, just out of harm's way. Bodied up by Tanko. Lily Tanko wearing number 27 now. A switch from her number 21. Hansen leaves it for Tanko, just out of her reach. Getting a foot on it is Lauren Weiss. Jumping for it is Nadia Parisi. She can't get it. Now it's Barone for Caitlin Hansen along the near sideline. Sends that one back towards the middle of the field. It's Maria Baldwin. Baldwin can't play it off a bounce. We'll have to circle all the way back, start completely from scratch. Ground ball pass intended for Deciliana Nacarado. Nacarado comes down with it, moves it upfield. Here's Tanko. Tanko touches it lightly. Good first touch. Gets it to Mora. Mora has trouble with it. That ball headed towards the far sideline, and it will be out of bounds.
So an intriguing matchup today, Lucas. I, of course, doing pre-match research, as a color man does.
Naturally.
The Manhattanville Valiants and Mount St. Mary College Knights have not beat each other in 3 years.
Free kick for Baldwin towards the middle of the field. Still loose in front. Diving effort. She can't come down with it. The goalkeeper, Alexa Bennett, had a little trouble with the ball, and down in some pain now is Hansen, wearing the captain's band. We hope she's all right.
Took an awkward tumble off the goalkeeper. Glad to see she's walking in her own power.
The Valiant goalkeeper, Alexa Bennett, I mean, it had the makings of a routine save. Maybe that ball kind of took off on her a little bit, but she had trouble with the ball. It was loose in front. Hansen played the loose ball. We hope she's okay. Slow to get up, but moving seemingly okay under her own power.
Of course, goalkeepers do have the right to the ball when it's in their hands, but it does get dangerous when they get startled or they fumble a ball when a striker is pressing them, so things do get dicey every once in a while.
Ball drop kick from Barone finds its way into the hands of Alexa Bennett, and so the Valiants will try and set something up again. A lot of work on their own side of the field for the Valiants. So that kick, a low-line drive, finds its way past midfield, but it doesn't find its way into the feet of a Valiant. It's still loose. Nacarado playing good defense, forces a turnover, kicks it for Faith Welsh along the far sideline. Now here's Mora. Mora moving it into the Knights attacking third. Gets it to Mahali. That pass just out in front. That one's blasted into the alumni barbecue. Or the athletes barbecue, I think.
Yes.
It is the athletes barbecue.
That we are missing out on, unfortunately, because we are on the other side of the lot.
Yeah, it is our job to promote the athletes barbecue. And you and I are both athletes. Me, baseball, you with esports.
Yeah.
And by extension, baseball, because, of course, you do a lot of
you do
all of our media work.
Just a wee bit.
So unless you're broadcasting a soccer game, if you're an athlete on the campus of Mount St. Mary College, go get you a free barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
So a bit of a slower start to tonight's contest. I mean, 4 minutes into the game, both teams certainly just getting a feel for it. And Bob, you alluded to earlier, we were cut off by a little bit of action. These teams haven't beaten each other in 3 seasons.
Yeah, there's been 3 consecutive years where the teams have drawn. Last year in Manhattanville at, what was it, GoValiants.com field. That is my new favorite thing. The home turf of Manhattanville is called GoValiants.com field. So shout out the Valiants. That's awesome.
So the naming rights of the stadium, sponsored by the school, and is also just the full URL of the website.
That's hysterical. Anywho, I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Free kick coming for Manhattanville, doing the honors, number 10, Jenny Amaral.
But last year was a 2-2 draw with a dramatic finish with Lily Tanko scoring an equalizer in the 85th minute of the match on the road. So one can only imagine what sort of treat is in store for us today.
Amaral's free kick, a low line drive. Surely she didn't hit it well as she had hoped. It ends up out of play to the left of the net, out behind the end line, and the Knights will try and go coast to coast. Getting the nod today in net for the Mount is number 23, Elizabeth Linane. I know it's been a long 4 weeks since we've done a women's game, but the women's game we did have the privilege of doing. The Knights rolled out a goalie tandem between her and Juliana Owashko, the freshman. That no longer seems to be the case.
Certainly not. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong stat sheet here. Welcome back, Bob. Yeah, Linane with, I think, 300 more minutes than Owashko, so that's a lot more matches, obviously. It seems to be the coaching staff has found what they're comfortable with, and the Knights have been rolling with what they've found they like.
Natalia Sanchez on the throw-in for the Valiants. Deep in their own end, goes off the head of Caitlin Hansen, off the foot of Isabella Barone, and now its ball's loose. It's out of harm's way. The Valiants corral it once more, trying to get something on the net. Making good defense there, it's Caitlin Schotter. Schotter stumbles, falls. The referee blows the whistle. It'll be a free kick coming for the Mount.
Just a slight nick on the ankle. Referee will call no more of that. I want to have a safe contest, of course.
Low kick from Baldwin, fielded cleanly by Mahali. Good defense there from Olivia Watson. Watson on Mahali. Mahali forced to get rid of it. Here's Nacarado. She crosses the midfield line. Pass up ahead. It's Mora giving chase. Coming out of the box is Bennett. Wraps it up cleanly. And so now it's the Valiants trying to bake a cake from scratch. Both teams just playing their pawns so far in this chess match. Still loose in front, finds its way to Baldwin. Baldwin knocks it down, tries to get it to Nacarado. Good defense there. Fortunately, able to come away with it is Genesis De Leon Portillo. Now here's Schotter with a step. Schotter with room to run, has a step up on Watson. Pass up ahead, intended for Hansen. Hansen not home. It's Vasil Chiatti. I'll get that eventually. Kayla Vasil Chiatti. Okay.
That is a great one.
There's, again, as we were talking about it earlier, there's always one or two names that you have to look twice at.
Of course. As broadcasters here, as I'm honing in the craft and getting used to it, I would love to shake Vils. How do you pronounce that?
Vasil Chiatti.
Would love to shake her hand and say you have a really cool name.
Fair enough.
Because that's pretty sick.
That one ends up out of play, almost to the broadcast booth, right at the scorer's table. One day you and I will get a souvenir.
I hope so, man.
And Bob, I'm sure by the time we're all said and done with this, I mean, because you do our volleyball games, you and I both do soccer. I'll do basketball. I assume you'll find your way into a game or two there.
Perchance.
We'll be able to cook up an all-name team, I'm sure. By the time our broadcasting tenure is said and done, we'll have some interesting ones. Hansen tried to get around Natalia Sanchez, takes a fall. A bit of a late whistle, but a whistle nonetheless, and it'll be a free kick again for the Mount. Trying to work it into their attacking third.
I had an intriguing one last night. I wish you were there. This young lady from Vassar, who's a serving specialist, her first name was T. Just the letter T.
Interesting.
Just T.
Just T.
Every time she was on the service line, the entire Vassar bench would start doing T poses and start chanting T before she served the ball.
That is awesome.
I thought that was hysterical. It was the greatest thing ever.
Mahali on net, a sea of white just outside the box. Hit somebody on the head. Karen straight up. Mora and Tanko in the vicinity, neither one able to corral it completely. Now here's Welsh giving chase, also in pursuit, number 23, Gianna Kufari. Kufari wins that foot race, and the Valiants will take it the other way. Just the letter T, that is interesting.
I forget her last name off the top of my head, but yeah, it was just straight up the letter T. I was like, wow, that's kind of cool, man.
Now Vasil Chiatti with a step. Tanko and Mahali behind. That ball knocked away. Mahali flips it up ahead in Tanko. Tanko and Bennett in a foot race. Bennett wins it, wraps it up. And she'll get away with it. So no serious scoring threat yet. But the Knights have been knocking on Alexa Bennett's door a whole bunch.
Most certainly, and it seems to be a more offensive match than I promoted it to be. And I apologize for not understanding how numbers work. Both teams actually, all of the wins from either team have been blowouts or 2+ goal wins. But the Mount has played more close games than their losses, if that sentence makes sense. A lot of the Mount's losses have been 1-goal contests.
Okay, that makes sense. So
a majority of...
That makes sense. So now with the step, now here's Welsh, good defense. Collides with Kufari. Kufari falls, no whistle. Good physical defensive effort there from Faith Welsh.
Impressive there to be able to get a shoulder and prevent that ball from being anywhere in a dangerous spot, keeping Linan comfortable here early in the first 10 minutes.
It was Kufari and Drita Tenaj with the step. It looked like the Valiants could have had a 2-on-1 there.
And the Mount to be careful of Tenaj, as she is...
De Leon Portillo tried to get it out, just ends up right in the lap of Natalia Sanchez. Gets it inside. Linan sliding stop, just to make sure nothing comes of it.
The high-octane action interrupting my thought, as I lost my thought, actually. Tenaj at the top of the goal-scoring tallies for Manhattanville, 4 tallies this year, so the Mount will have to be careful for her number to be called throughout the day.
Linan's pass, it's a good one. Hansen fields it, had trouble corralling it and turning upfield. It'll be a turnover out of play. Throw in for the Valiants, it's Sanchez. And going back to T on the Vassar volleyball team, just made me think of famed historical figure Ulysses S. Grant. His middle initial was just S. It didn't stand for anything.
Yeah.
He just put that in there.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Now here's more with the step. Schotter gets a shot off. Oh, beats Bennett. That shot ends up just to the left of the net. Good job there from Caitlin Schotter, able to create a shot. Rifles it just to the left of the net. Beat the keeper. The shot just not quite on target. So 33-45 into the contest, and that's been the first legitimate opportunity for either side.
It certainly would have been a thunderbolt there to start that game out, or firecracker, as the English might say. Very, very impressive effort. Good signs early here from the Knights.
Good defense there from Hansen guarding Sanchez tightly. That ball managed to stay in play.
Funky spin.
And the referee blows that one dead.
They said it went out of bounds in the air, I guess. Would be my only assumption.
Is that how that works? So if the ball is in the air over the out of bounds line and it manages to come back, stays in play, I mean, is that still live?
No, because on corner kicks, if you whip it out of bounds and it curls back in bounds, it's just considered a dead ball.
I see.
I'm a dual rules analyst, as I am a color man.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting because I mean you think of sports like basketball or football. I mean if the ball is above the out of bounds line but not actually on the ground out of bounds, it's still live. Interesting. The more you knew,
Soccer's an intriguing sport.
You learn something new every day.
But the intriguing thing about that, you mentioned football. Like if a wide receiver runs out of bounds and runs back in, obviously it's illegal
then it's
touching.
a penalty, right?
But in soccer, you can run out of bounds and come back into bounds and touch the ball, and you're still fine.
Interesting.
As a player, you can step out of bounds. Like frequently, you'll see fullbacks and wingers. They'll be controlling the ball while they're standing out of bounds. Like right here.
I see.
Who was that in front of us? That was Barone?
Isabella Barone, number 14.
Okay, there we go. I don't have the roster sheet in front of me. Lucky guess, I suppose.
Bob was a late start. He was late to be announced as active for today's broadcast. Thankfully, he was able to join us. Makes my life a lot easier and makes the viewing experience, I'm sure, a lot better.
Just a wee bit of a mix-up on an activity for the day, and I decided last minute I would come here instead.
Now here's Mora along the far sideline, guarded tightly by the opposing number 6, Stephanie Sanchez. Good pass there. It's Tanko able to come away with it in a sea of valiance. Pass up ahead, intended for Mahali, quickly picked off by Vasilkiadi. De Leon Portillo gets it to Schotter. Schotter pass up ahead. Hansen was in the area. She elects not to pursue it. Wrapped up by Bennett. Goal kick coming.
Not a bad idea. Just didn't get the right spin on it. Never bad to put a ball in open space, let your winger make something happen.
So I feel like we've been in this position a lot, as there's another lantern fly in the booth. Invasive species are coming after the broadcasters. So I mean, not with the exception of Schotter's shot on net, I mean, the Knights have knocked on Bennett's door a little bit, but she's always just been able to come away with the ball and then set up whatever she wants on the goal kick or the throw-in.
Certainly, you definitely see a different aspect with teams and their pressing. They have very different philosophies on whether they should or should not be utilizing their attackers to press.
And there's Kafari with a step, defended nicely from Barone. She wears that one off the head. I mean, I feel like in a lot of the games we've done, the pressure, when a team is operating deep out of their own end, the pressure just gradually increases as the game goes further and further along. As Kufari throws a body on De Leon Portillo, and she falls. No whistles. What ends up out of play behind the end line. The referee's signal. It appears it'll go the way of the Knights.
You certainly have seen a difference in philosophies with pressing change over time as soccer has matured as a sport. So sometimes you do see like the gegenpressing tactics, as they call it, where you're just hyper aggressive from whistle to whistle.
Mm-hmm.
But other tactics, of course, you back off more. You're waiting for the counterattack when you can find it.
I mean, in comparison to the Knights, so far hands-off press strategy on goal kicks for the Mount, the Valiants have Kafari and Parisi just keeping watch. I mean, not anything overt, but they're forcing a pass.
100%, and never a bad thing to be forcing your opponents to make plays and make mistakes, because frequently you can capitalize on those when they do happen.
No, of course not. And I feel like, I mean, even though there's no pressing threat, you still don't want to give your opponent too much time in the kitchen for any reason. Going after the loose ball is Schotter, nicely done, and the possession will stick with Mount St. Mary.
Yes, sir. Their recipes are always easier to execute when you have time.
De Leon Portillo rifles a ball, surely just to clear it. Giving chase is Lauren Weiss. Weiss and a teammate play ping pong. It ends up back with Weiss. The Knights hands off. Low ground ball. That one never got off the ground. That one's intercepted fairly easily by Welsh. Nakarado now with the step. She collides with Amaral. Valiant is down, now up. It'll be a brief stoppage and a free kick coming. It's Janae Amaral.
Oops, looking at the wrong papers.
And so Jennay, spelled Jennay. I promise I'm not just doing a Forrest Gump impression.
Jennay.
Still loose in front. The Knights come away with it. Here's Hansen. Hansen towards the middle of the field. It's Mahali working out of the midfield circle. She'll leave it back for Hansen up along the near sideline.
Great build-up play here from the Knights.
Hansen guarded by Sanchez. Works it up ahead. It's Tanko. Good defense there from Vasilkiadi. Out of play, but it'll be a throw-in here for the Mount. And so this throw-in coming from the Mounts attacking third. We'll see if the Knights can string together some offense. We are 18 minutes in. We're in the air.
17 minutes and
17
30
minutes.
seconds.
If you round up, it's 18. Counting down is really hard, especially with minutes.
It's very strange. I don't like it very much.
I'm just not good at it. I'm not a math major.
Either am I. That's why we're here.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're broadcasting and not doing anything productive. The free kick coming or goal kick, free kick, however you want to put it. It's Alexa Bennett. She's had a lot of those today. And again, Bob, just a hands-off approach on defense so far for the Mount.
Certainly. And Soccer Pierce would correct you. These are not free kicks.
They are goal
kicks.
Yes. I actually caught myself. I was ready on that one. On that one.
If there's...
Because free kicks come on stoppages.
Yes,
I knew that.
Indeed.
I just got my terminology mixed up.
If there's some hardcore soccer purists watching this high-octane D3 matchup, we apologize.
And if there's a soccer purist watching this, let me know. Let me know if there's anything I should be saying. And
That's
now here's
a great
Hansen
touch.
with a step. That's loose in front. Woo! Have to get it out. Sliding effort inside the goalie box. It's loose in front. Mahali fires it towards the net. Over the crossbar. Out of play. And it remains scoreless.
Very impressive effort there from Hansen on the left side, just grabbing the ball, putting it down off her head and just tapping one over the keeper, attempting a chip off the outside of the foot. Difficult angle, just could not find the back of the net.
Hansen with a step on Vasilkiadi, gets around, gets a shot off, and good defense there from the Valiants. I believe that was number 29, Lauren Weiss, making the save.
That was very, very impressive. Great rotation there from the defense to be able to stop it on the goal line.
And with that, another good opportunity for Mount St. Mary, but the game remains scoreless. Vasilkiadi off the head, still loose in front, and that's the first time I've been able to say her name without looking at how to pronounce it. Vasilkiadi.
Sweet. Seems like the hardest ones are always the ones that pop up the most frequently.
No, exactly. That's 100% what it is. I mean, because, we have to be tested somehow. So, these teams with star players or players who are at least a focal point, you're right, Bob, they do come up incredibly often. Because you and I feel we both have unique last names. As that one's loose in front, Bennett wraps it up fairly easily. Another goal kick. You and I have unique last names, but they're not hard to pronounce.
Yeah, my name's weird because it's just 4 letters, so it seems basic, but the pronunciation is definitely different than what most people are used to.
Yeah. Hauk, spelled H-O-U-K for the people at home, even though I say that like 1,000 times on the broadcast.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people think it's spelled H-O-U-C-K, which is German Dutch. I'm Pennsylvania Dutch.
Right. That one ends up out of play behind the end line. We'll see where the referee wants to spot this one. It appears to be a goal kick. The first substitution of the game now for either side. Coming on for the Mount, number 9, Isabella Milburn. She'll come on in relief of number 28, Caitlin Hansen. And yet another goal kick for Bennett.
Milburn following the tally pretty closely here. Milburn with 3 goals this year, so we'll have to look out if she finds herself a point today in this matchup.
And perhaps that's the idea for the Mount. Hansen took a hit earlier in the game, so I'm wondering if the substitution has anything to do with that. Now Mahali, another one, that one intended towards the net. That one not quite squared up. That ends up well to the right of the net. It'll stay in play. And Bob, stop me if you've heard this one before. Goal kick for Alexa Bennett.
There we go.
And so perhaps, Bob, the substitution, as I was saying, perhaps Milburn coming on, it gives your captain, or one of your captains, a chance to breathe, and also gives you some offense.
Absolutely. It seems to be coaches are electing to go for some more firepower here as Mahali is playing in an attacking midfielder position. They have Milburn at wing, and they have Mora at wing. They have Tanko here at a forward, right up the middle. So it seems to be they're looking to find themselves something in around the 20-minute mark.
A ball bounces around, ends up out of play towards the 4-end line. Now it's De Leon Portillo. Gets it to Schotter. Schotter, good job just to corral it, but quickly swarmed by Valiance. A whistle and a stoppage. And now it's a free kick for the Mount.
So we'll let Mahali take a rip here. This will most likely be a ball played to the wing.
And Mahali has been involved for this Knights offense early. A few shots on at least the net. No shots on goal, at least recorded for either side.
Of course, and Coach Dolan's rolled her out here in a 10 position, but definitely a free roam assignment. I apologize. I was looking for the right word as she was lining that up. A free roam assignment, because frequently, well, not frequently, but you do see different types of 10s in midfielders. For those who don't know, attacking midfielders, another word for them is a 10. So sometimes they're directed to stay very specific to their position and stay up at field. Sometimes they're directed to play box to box. Sometimes they're directed they can be wherever they want to find open space.
So following the free kick, another free kick from Bennett. Both sides trade volleys. It'll be a stoppage and a free kick for the Valiants right between the M and the C at midfield.
Proper midfield mark there, MSM. See? Do love that.
Or if you're looking at it from the angle we're looking at it, it's a weird letter, a W, an S, and another W. Out of play, a whistle. Barone falls. The referee takes exception. Free kick coming now for the Mount. 22 minutes, 5 seconds and counting down. So smooth sailing so far for both sides. Not much offense.
Not much offense at all. And as we're getting restarted here, if I can mention, starting wing and senior captain Caitlin Hansen is actually getting taped up here on the trainer's table. So I don't know if she will return to today's matchup.
Well, we're hoping she does. That'd be a big loss for the Mount in the event she cannot come back.
Always. And of course, we're not a professional grade booth that has people that can report to us immediately what her condition is, so we'll just have to eyeball it.
And fingers crossed, we'll be burning all sorts of incense in the booth for good luck.
Incense that I can't keep in my dorm, but they can't stop me if I'm outside.
Exactly.
Technically, beyond that fence line, we're off campus, I think.
Now here's Barone. And of course, we're not allowed to have anything in our room that makes it smell good, i.e. candles, incense.
Yeah.
And you can tell, by the way, as that one's loose in front. Getting rid of it is Sanchez. De Leon Portillo rifles that one out of play. Will belong the near sideline towards the Knights attacking third, but out of bounds nonetheless. It will be a throw-in for number 5, Natalia Sanchez.
That's unfortunate. At least you could at least give us, let us have wax burners or something.
Yeah, because you'd think.
Make the place smell a little better. Emulate candles, but not quite candles. It's not open flames, you know?
Right. I'm sure you and I have some valid grievances. We can bring it up to our respective RAs when I see them next.
Of course.
That one. Now here the Valiants just trying to draw up any kind of offense. Here's Tanaj, as you mentioned, the Valiants' leading goal scorer. Good defensive effort there from Baldwin. Sends that one out of play along the far sideline. Doing the throw-in honors for the Valiants, number 22, Noemi Montenegro from Whittier, California.
Ah.
Always love to see people from California representing, as someone from California myself. Of course, Whittier is Southern California, nowhere near me, but, you know, if you're California, you're good in my book.
It's like when I find fellow random town residents of Pennsylvania.
Now here's Milburn with room to run. A little bit of space, runs right into Natalia Sanchez, runs right through Natalia Sanchez. That one ends up out of play nonetheless. A throw-in coming for Natalia Sanchez, number 5. Barone wears that off the head. Sanchez dribbles it, guarded tightly by Mahali. That one ends up straight up. It'll remain in play. Milburn wears it off the head, leaping for it, and can't get it is Amaral. Now here's Nakarado, leaves it for Tanko. Tanko loses it. Her and Weiss collide. Mora sends it way out towards the far sideline, giving chase to Nakarado. She's able to come away with a good offensive battle. Able to pick her pocket. Rifles that one well upfield. It'll stay in play. Maria Baldwin has a play on it. Sends that one back to the Valiants' end of the field. Up ahead, intended for Tanko. Good defense there from Weiss. Bodies it up, deflects it. Amaral now just trying to get it out of somebody's way. Here's number 6, Stephanie Sanchez. Gets it to Tanaj, who tried to get it back to Sanchez. Perhaps a little miscommunication there. De Leon Portillo goes off the head, pens it straight up. And here's Caitlin Schotter. That pass deflected. It's a Vesso Chiatti. Now it's number 11, Nadia Parisi. That one taken away by Barone. Barone now with a little bit of room to work. She gets it past the midfield line. She has Milburn up along the near sideline. Milburn chasing it and able to keep it in play. Oh, no longer able to keep it in play. These are some late whistles from these refs, Bob.
They certainly are, and it's difficult when you don't have eyes everywhere, because at the highest levels, of course, they have like a million different cameramen that are able to relay to those little earpieces they have, but there's only 3 gentlemen out here, so we appreciate your services, but of course it's very difficult for them to.
Mahali along the top of the box, tried to get it to Mora. That one deflected by Montenegro. Still loose in front. Takes a weird bounce. Karam's out towards the left side and outside of the goalie box, giving chase is Tanko. She's guarded by Sanchez. Tanko falls. A stoppage, and it'll be a free kick for the Mounts, I believe.
Seems to be a little bit of a shove here. Tanko draws the foul very well. There's going to be a dangerous free kick from about 30 yards out on an off angle. Mahali again to take it.
So, Bob, you're deep in your attacking third. There's a lantern fly on my shoulder that Bob so generously took care of for me.
Looked like a field goal. The thing just flew away as soon as I flicked it. That was strange.
So, Bob, if you're the Mount, what are you drawing up here?
I'm seeing a 2-woman wall. There's going to be a curler into the front post.
Mahali fires away into a sea of white. Nobody's able to get a body on it. It just caroms out toward the other side of the box, giving chase Schotter. She'll keep it in play, leaves it for Welsh. Welsh tried to get that one back towards the middle of the field. It's blocked. It'll end up out of play, and it'll end up another Mount throw-in.
So I was wildly incorrect, and that was a backspinning ball well to the back post. 2
substitutions now. Deanna Lodge and Riley Tondini. Tondini comes on in relief of Desiliano Nacarado, and Lodge comes on in relief of Jenna Amaral.
Jenna.
I promise I'm not doing a Forrest Gump impression to the folks at home. It is AY. A leaping effort from Tondini. That ball ends up over her head. Tanko forces a pass. That one turned over. Now it's Schotter knocking it down, leaving it for Mora. Her and Stephanie Sanchez collide. So for the Valiants, Natalia Sanchez wears number 5. Stephanie Sanchez wears number 6.
Oh, that's just mean.
I can't confirm any kind of relation, but their numbers are in chronological order, and they have the same last name. So, I mean, I'm sure that's bound to cause a few mix-ups.
Of course, not very helpful to us in the broadcasting booth, but I presume their athletic directors were not assuming ease of access to the roster when they assign those numbers.
You know, of course, one of the traits of a good broadcaster is the ability to overcome adversity. And Bob, you know, you and I, that's what you and I are here to do.
Always.
Bounces around a whole bunch within the midfield circle. Mahali able to come away with it. Good pass up ahead for Tanko. Tanko in pursuit. Good defense there from Lauren Weiss to knock it out of the way. It'll go all the way out of bounds.
It'll be Mount ball. Very, very impressive effort from defender and Tanko here.
A solid leading pass there from Mahali as a lantern fly just flew right into the headset.
That's disgusting.
And I know we can't really,
whoa,
as Tondini collides with Tanaj. That one still bouncing around. Tanaj swarmed by White, and impressively, Tanaj comes away with a 3-on-1. The Valiant's leading goal scorer with room, and she just rifles it all the way upfield. Baldwin lets it go for Lenane. Goal kick coming for the Mount.
Certainly, tap it mishit. Never a bad idea to try and catch the defense sleeping from well out. Had the distance, not the angle.
And that was an impressive effort on offense just to be able to come away with the ball. I mean, she was guarded tightly by 3 different Knights and won the defensive battle nonetheless.
Very impressive. Oh, tight offside call on Milburn. A little unfortunate for the white and blue. So we'll get a bit of a break here while we wait for them to reset the ball.
It'll be a free kick now for somebody. It'll be the referees just commiserating, it looks like.
Just a wee bit. A certified classic of the goalie trying to reset the ball and the center back not seeing it, so it rolls past her.
So we're a half hour into the game now, 14 and a half minutes and counting down. Vasil Kiadi's kick, a good one. That bounces over the head of Barone. Now it's Tanaj with a step. Guarded tightly by De Leon Portillo. De Leon Portillo deflects it, gets it to Lodge. Lodge back to Tanaj. Back to Sanchez. Riley Tondini comes away with it. Now here's Milburn working it along the near sideline right in front of the Knights bench. Sanchez sends it away, right to Sanchez. Now here's Tanko. A little bit of room to operate, just trying to get it out of the Valiant's possession. They do so successfully. Leaves it for Mahali. Mahali a leading pass for Milburn. She can't catch up to it. Out of play. Valiant's ball. And so, Bob, we've taken a good chunk out of this first half, and no shots on goal and no corner kicks for either side.
Definitely a highly contested contest. The tail of the tape is the last 3 contests have gone between these two teams. So I think pressure will continue to build through these last 15, but I think we're going to be expecting a bigger second half.
Rightfully so. I mean, I think both sides and us, we're trying to avoid a tie for what would be the 4th straight season. Mora takes a hard hit from Weiss. The referee takes exception immediately. That one's quickly blown dead. It'll be a free kick. Head on with the net, but from a ways out.
That's very, very...
So now Mahali, she's taking most of the free kicks now for the Mount. A little far to be taking a shot, at least from the eyes. So, Bob, I mean, what do you expect the Knights to do here?
Sorry, I completely zoned out before that. 3-woman wall is very interesting from almost 35 yards out, so we'll have to see what you come out with.
Mahali will fire it onto the net, a couple feet to the left.
Wow.
Collides harmlessly with the screen.
It's not completely absurd. She definitely had the distance, just not the right curl to the ball. An interesting spot to pick, but never a bad shot to take.
Vaso Quixote gets it to
Watson,
gets it to Sanchez, and Sanchez...
That would have came to us if that was 50 feet down the line. That would have been on our heads.
Sanchez lifts it 90 feet away from the broadcast booth. And if you're just now joining us, or if this is your first time listening to a broadcast of mine and Bob's, Bob and I are really hoping that somehow, some way, as loose in front, misplayed by Bennett, and a basket catch from Bennett and a whistle.
Thought we were going to be in there for a moment, but offsides was called, so the outcome would not have mattered. Bennett will get to reset the ball from stationary position on the 18.
So now knowing that there was an offside, the Valiants can breathe a little bit, but it looks like goalkeeper Alexa Bennett misplayed it. She made a Willie Mays-style basket catch.
The kid.
Right in front of Lily Tanko, and surely if that ball hits the ground, with the exception of the offside.
That's a surefire goal.
Yes. That one's still loose in front. Now it's Moore with
Whoa!
It's Schotter with the step. She front flips over the goalkeeper. Yeah!
And a penalty kick, I think, has been called on Bennett.
Bennett falls on the ball.
Apologies. Complete silence has fallen over the
radio silence from everyone, as I think everyone's just committed to making sure both parties are okay. A scary collision between Caitlin Schotter and Alexa Bennett. And Bob, it does appear that the Knights have been awarded a penalty kick.
100%, and it seems to be Schotter is stepping up for the kick. She was the one fouled, so she will take it spot kick here.
So Schotter on the penalty kick, a couple of whistles scattered throughout. Some sort of stoppage.
Just checking to make sure everything's okay. Got to tell the keeper you got to keep 1 foot on the line before the ball is kicked.
And we're glad everyone is okay. I mean, Schotter went end over end.
Yeah, she got fully flipped, but an opportunity here in the last 10 minutes to take the lead, so let's see how this one goes.
Schotter gets the whistle. Ready, aim, fires away, and it's knocked down by Bennett, still loose in front. And there's Watson knocking it away. Schotter lifts it over the screen and out of play.
Wow.
And Alexa Bennett answers the call. Keeps Schotter out of the back of the net, and Bob, it's still 0-0.
Schotter went for pure power there, just couldn't find the right corner. Bennett was fit for the task, just parries it straight down into the floor.
And Bob,
said, call what you want, I'm not going to have it.
And Bob, if you're a goalie on a penalty kick, I mean, the cards are very obviously stacked against you there. What an effort from Bennett to keep it out. And with 10 minutes and counting down, still 0-0.
Definitely an unfortunate break for the Knights. A huge, huge play for the Valiants. Of course, at the higher levels, goalkeepers saving penalties comes more down to the guessing game than it does the athletic feat of it. So she guessed right that time, and she was rewarded.
I mean, however you want to put it, that is an impressive save. I mean, the cards obviously stacked against you. And now we'll see if the Valiants can turn some defense into the offense. And if you're the Knights, I mean, you can't get an opportunity really much better than that.
Never, and they'll have to reset here and try and find themselves something different. But, of course, a spot kick from inside the 10-minute mark of a half is an ideal position to be in. Unfortunate not to convert.
Milburn for Barone for Mahali. Milburn's pass, nice up ahead. Now here's Tanko with a step. Weiss comes in. Tanko fires right at Bennett, wraps it up, makes the save.
Impressive run from Tanko to get around the outside shoulder of the defender. Just couldn't quite put the ball where she wanted it.
And so Watson has trouble with the pass. Tondini almost came away with it. It'll go the way of the Valiants. And so the Knights, that blocked penalty kick didn't take the air out of the tires. Another great opportunity, and Bob, another great save from Alexa Bennett.
Absolutely benefit. God help us all. Bennett standing very tall in the net here. Netminder having no business wanting to concede anything early in this half, or early in this game.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a bug in the broadcast booth, so we're going to get it out before we bring you more soccer.
Landed straight on top of our switcher.
Out of play. It landed on my hat, and it was terrible.
Those darn lantern flies. Hate those things.
Well, it's the worst because they just kamikaze you. I don't know what it is that makes these bugs so attracted to people, but they'll willingly fly into you. It's a direct challenge, I think. And the other day, I was walking back from class. Of course, the story time is that one's lobbed towards the net. Linan sliding effort, wraps it up cleanly. Goal kick coming. So I'm walking back from class, and I'm back in my room. I live alone now because my roommate moved out. It's quite nice. So anyway, I'm alone in my room, and I think I'm alone in my room, and then this bug that hitched a ride with me on my walk back from class starts flying around my room. And there are two things in life I'm afraid of. The first one is heights. The second one is bugs. So as you can imagine, if I'm alone in my room after a hard day of classes and this ugly creature starts flying around my room, I was horrified, and rightfully so, because I had no idea where this thing came from. I don't know if it was in my room, if it came from under my bed, but you can imagine how horrified I was as that's rifled out of play to the right of the flag. So it'll be a throw-in now for the Mount. Leaves it right from Mora. Outside, just outside the box, tries to work it in. Centering pass, that's Milburn. Schotter got a foot on it, can't corral it. She'll leave it all the way outside of the box. It's Mahali. Out of play. Well to the right of the net. And so the Knights, Emma Mahali has been a focal point for the offense. A lot of shots have come through her, but there have the accuracy so far, that's the word I'm looking for. The accuracy has just not been there so far.
She's certainly been keen to take him from outside, and that last one, very difficult to hit a ball rolling towards you in that fashion while you're stepping backwards. So showing off plenty of muscle here, just not enough accuracy to put one under the bar.
Alexa Bennett to send it away. 6.5 minutes to play here in the first half. Welsh gets a head on it, but it's quickly taken away by the Valiants. The Knights with 3 shots on goal. Manhattanville, no offensive statistics yet recorded. Leaving it on the outside of the box, it's Mora. Couple of women in the middle. Deflected out of play behind the end line.
For a first corner kick in the match.
First corner kick of the contest now for either side. 6 minutes and counting down. Mahali to do the honors for the Mount.
And we'll see what tactics get brought out here, but if it's go time, it's now. So we'll have to see what Mahali and crew come up with off of this set piece.
Of course, I mean, we have a whole other half left to play, but there's 5 minutes, 40 seconds counting down in this one. Somebody would like to pull in front here. And I mean, if you're the Knights now, you've had 2 great opportunities. Sends that one to Sea of White. Welsh got a head on it. Wow. Karen's awkwardly to the outside of the box, but it does stay in play.
She was up there.
Schotter's pass picked off by Sanchez. Sanchez sends it far up along the near sideline. It'll stay Knights' ball, but it'll be Knights' ball from about halfway between midfield and the net.
And, of course, never a time to hit the panic button when it's just the first half. But when you've already had a penalty kick and multiple shots on net, it's not bad time to go for broke when you have 5 minutes left in the half.
And I will say, after 2 big missed opportunities as Sanchez makes a business decision not to kick the ball, ends up out of play, it'll be a throw-in for Manhattanville. 2 big missed opportunities. It could very easily be 2-0. So the Knights, at least so far, they've passed the eye test. Those 2 missed opportunities have not taken the air out of their tires.
Certainly. They've had the Lego pieces, just not the set, so we'll have to see if they find the directions here going into the second half.
So they're baking, but they're missing a few ingredients here. And still, Manhattanville, no offensive, at least shots on goal, shots on net, anything of that matter. So the Knights have played great defense. As that's loose in front, it's Schotter for redemption. She scores!
Oh!
So Caitlin Schotter, you can forget about that missed penalty kick. A missile from the top of the box. It's now 1-0.
Wow. Second time of asking, Schotter does nothing but bury it from about 20 out. Gets it off the left foot. That's just a firecracker into the top of the net there. Saw from here, that ball just bent perfectly, fell straight into the top bins, up where the Spiders live. And the Knights are up 1-0 going into the second half.
So Caitlin Schotter opens the scoring here this afternoon. 4:10 to play here in the first half, and it is now 1-0 Mount St. Mary. There's Milburn again, leaves it for Tanko. Tanko up ahead for Milburn again, and a whistle and an offside.
So for those back home and those in England, they would call that a worldie, Lucas.
So the Knights almost with a banger of a goal, and then 10 seconds later, an offside call away from another goal. So Mount St. Mary wasting no time getting back on the saddle.
Certainly in a contest where you draw so frequently against the side, you have to find a lead and maintain a lead. Of course, that's how you win games. It's quite obvious, but when you concede so many awkward goals and late goals and such in contests, you have to find a way to not do that, of course. So scoring early is definitely a good way to start.
And nicely done. And for the Knights, to reference the Doors, it has to feel good to break on through because, I mean, that's two big missed opportunities, and then you capitalize finally, and you're up 1-0, and you've played a really good defensive game.
Certainly have. The defenses look strong, and Manhattanville's been trying to punch some nails into the doorway, but the Mount finally kicked it down, and they're up 1-0, and they've been rewarded for all of their labor here through this first half.
So through plenty of trials and tribulations, the Knights have a 1-goal lead. And obviously we have a whole other half to play. This one is far from over. But now if you're the Mount, you can finally exhale, at least a little bit.
Take a breath and build off of that and continue to... Oh, foul call on the far side. A little bit of a weak call if you ask me. Protest from...
Bob up here in the booth.
Welsh.
And so free kick coming for Manhattanville from their own attacking third. They've knocked on Lenane's door a few times. But so far, as you can probably tell by the 0 shots on goal on the scoreboard, no serious threat yet for Manhattanville on the offensive side.
Nothing of malice so far from the Valiants. So Nane has had a pretty smooth day as of yet, but I will knock on metaphorical wood to not jinx that.
So this one seems well far out, too far away to take a shot. So I assume this one will just be put towards the middle of the net. Welsh gets another head on it. Good leaping defensive effort. Out of play, out behind the end line, and it will be the first corner kick of the contest now for the Valiants.
Well hit ball. That's about all you could do with that when it's on an offset angle from about 35 out. You just have to curl it in the box and see if you can find a head or a foot. So it's definitely a high percentage play to go for as Manhattan's going to get their first corner kick in the match. We'll see what they come up with.
Stephanie Sanchez to take the corner kick now for the Valiants. Under 90 seconds to play here in the first half. Loose in front. Welsh gets a body on it. Still loose. Sanchez shanked it a little bit. Good job there from Lodge just to keep that in play. That one ends up out of bounds, ultimately out over the end line. Goal kick coming now from Mount St. Mary.
Very awkward sequence there, but the Mount comes out unscathed, so only so much you can complain about when you don't concede off of a corner kick.
Under a minute to play now. Here's Baldwin, set to take the kick. She sends it away.
Jada Birch checking in for the Valiants. Left back on your top left of your screen. Far side of the screen.
And so now if you're the Mount, assuming everything holds where it is with 38 seconds to play, now that you've scored, you can feel pretty good about this first half.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think I would use the word damage control, but I think damage prevention is definitely being deployed at this point. So you can, for certain, just keep yourself clean. What in the world is happening? You can keep yourself clean for these last 20. And you can go into the locker room, get yourself a breather, and pick yourself back up for the next 45.
A mess of bodies just outside the box. It's Deanna Lodge on the ground, able to get up now, under 10 seconds. So, I mean, the Knights elect not to press the envelope, and so we will go to halftime with Mount St. Mary up 1-0.
Very strong half from the Knights. Great performance on Alumni Day. You gotta love winning on big theme days. We have quite a few people in attendance. This might be the highest attended game of the year so far.
I mean, it's a gorgeous afternoon. There's a barbecue. It's Alumni weekend. There's every reason to be out here, and so far the Knights have delivered for the Mount faithful.
Good job, Lily. Good job.
The Mount Ultras showing out in large today. The blue and white and black.
Mount Ultras. And now that, again, I mean, to hammer it home, the Knights now can put the two big missed opportunities on the back burner. They're up 1-0 going into the half. It was an excellent defensive half for the Mount. So we will be back in 15 minutes. Bob, do you have any closing statements from this first half?
I mean, I hope you were watching. That was an absolute stunner there. That's just a dandy to be able to witness in person, but it's a very, very strong half of the Knights. I would be very happy if I was Coach Dolan going into the locker room here.
So the freshman Caitlin Schotter, the difference maker here in the first half. I'm Lucas Stackpole. With me, as always, is Bob Hauk. We will be back in 14 minutes and 35 seconds for the second half. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to sunny Kaplan Field for the second half of action between the Mount St. Mary Knights and the Manhattanville Valiants. The Knights clinging to a 1-0 lead. They scored with a couple minutes left in the first half. It's 1-0 Knights. So, Bob, I mean, I'm completely off the rails. I'm memorized at the fact that Bob and our cameraman went to the athlete barbecue. So Bob, give us a plate breakdown ahead of the second half.
We're setting this up. All right, I had combo glizzy that I already ate. Had some mustard on that Johnson. Right now we got a plain burger with no cheese because they had no cheese at the counter.
Oh.
With some fresh made chips and a little bit of lettuce on the burger. So I apologize.
So your score, 1-0 Knights going into the second half. And the Knights, finally, of course, they had 2 squandered opportunities. You can put those to rest. An impressive goal from Caitlin Schotter put the Knights up 1-0. And the Knights have, now that they're up, we can focus on the fact that they've played an excellent defensive first half. I mean, they are winning the battle of possession by the narrowest of margins, 51 to 49%. But the big thing that jumps off the page on the stat sheet, no total shots at all for Manhattanville in the first half.
Extremely impressive from a defensive side to not let up a single shot. That is, in 45 minutes, that's hard to do. The Knights having 8 shots total, Schotter and Holly leading the charge with 3 shots each. Very, very impressive half from the Knights. We'll have to see what they come up with here in the next 45.
So the impressive thing is total shots are a different statistic than shots on goal. Shots on goal are shots on the net that require somebody to come save them. I mean, obviously keep them out of the net. Total shots are just shots in or around the net. You know, it's the scorekeeper. I believe it's at the scorekeeper's jurisdiction. Hey, that was a shot attempt.
Yeah.
But either way, no shots of any kind for the Valiants.
Yeah, it had no offense at all. Ball did trickle into the box a few times, but they never got the ball towards the net. So very, very impressive half from the back 4 of the white and blue. And we'll have to see if they can continue that domination to this next half of football.
And all things considered, the Valiants played a solid defensive first half as well. Alexa Bennett, well, obviously with the exception of the goal, played a stellar first half. But, I mean, obviously, Bob, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that if you don't score, you can't win.
Of course. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to score more goals than your opponent to win the match. And if you don't score at all, then that's not going to give you 3 points.
Makes it hard to do.
And unless I completely missed something last half, Caitlin Hansen is back into the game here, playing the far left wing. So
yeah.
The Knights receive their senior captain back on the offensive half.
So it appears Hansen appears to be one of 3 captains, at least to the naked eye right now. The other 2 being Faith Welsh wearing number 20 and Maria Baldwin wearing number 3. And it's a good sign for the Knights that Caitlin Hansen is backing out on the field.
Absolutely. So I was like ducking a diving lanternfly there.
There's
absolutely great signs, though, yes.
There's a lanternfly that landed on my face when you guys were both out.
Terrifying stuff.
I'm breaking. I was thinking about the first half, and then a bug just came up and flew right into my face. It was pretty disgusting.
Nothing scarier than a little red body coming
terrifying.
barreling at you, yeah.
Because anytime a bug gets remotely close to my face, as it's a free kick now for the Valiants, past the midfield line, the Valiants now going right to left.
Heavy shove there onto Barone. That's going to be a free kick for the Knights from their back half.
But every time a bug gets remotely close to my face, I can only think of the SpongeBob episode where for whatever reason in Sandy's dome there's a butterfly, and it flies around and it lands on the helmet SpongeBob is wearing that allows him to breathe, and then it just randomly pans to this horrific close-up of a real-life butterfly.
Oh.
And
SpongeBob loves doing that.
Yeah, and it was insane because I saw it when I was like 6, 7, 8 years old.
Yeah, that age.
That wasn't intentional. But anyway, it was horrifying. It was an incredibly terrifying experience for no reason. And that's why every time a lanternfly flies at me, I just run as fast as I can in the other direction.
SpongeBob used to always freak me out so much with those like stupid close-ups they do, where they have just a super hyper detailed like close-up of the face of whatever character they're highlighting.
The goal kick for Bennett. Yeah, no, of course, and it was so scary for no reason. And I mean, while we're on the topic, and there's a little bit of a lull, I mean, the episode where there's the gorilla in a Patrick suit, and it's just this guy in a gorilla suit, poorly CGI'd into Bikini Bottom. But for whatever reason, that terrified me growing up. There's a bug somewhere on my neck. I really don't like this. You know, while you were out, a man came up and he struck up a conversation. And he asked where the canopy was some sort of cover for us. And with all these bugs flying around, I'm starting to wonder, Bob, where is our canopy?
That's what I'm saying, man. This is getting to be a little bit ridiculous here. It's time people start noticing.
As Hansen works it along the far sideline. Good pass in front for Tanko. Ends up out of play behind the end line. We'll see where the referee's determined possession lies, but it's a beautiful leading pass from Hansen. Tanko got a solid body on it, it would appear.
Hansen obviously already making impacts being here back in the game. Being back here in the game. Here we go. We're locked back in.
Corner kick coming now for Emma Mahali.
So Hansen returns along with my vernacular as we will see, I believe, an in-swinger here towards his back post. A couple white jerseys grouped up on the outside of the box.
Mahali sends it away. Loose in front, caroms around a couple of times. Hits somebody's head straight up. Hansen also gets a head on it. Getting a foot on it is Amaral. She gets it out of the goalie box. Possession still to be determined, and now here come the Valiants. It's Deanna Lodge trying to lead the charge the other way. Getting it to Jada Birch, who was in the game to close out the first half. Some miscommunication there from the Valiants allows Mora to get her foot inside. Allows Mora to get her foot in the door and cause some trouble. Can't quite force a turnover. It'll be thrown for the Valiants. That one over the head of the intended target. Welsh able to get a head on it. Now here's Mahali leading the charge the other way. Gets it to Mora. Mora guarded by Birch. Good pass up ahead for Tanko. Tanko leaves it behind. It's Mahali. Mahali just lobs one on the net. Bennett catches it with ease. I thought initially it was going to try and be a leading pass for Hansen. And maybe that was the play design. But either way, it's a routine play for Bennett.
It certainly built up that way.
It looked like that was going to be a very real possibility. I was curious to see how that played out. Now here's Hansen with a step. Just lobs it into the box. No woman in white is there. And here's Birch. Gets around Mora. Tried to get it to Gibson. Couldn't. Now here's Mora outside the box. Centering pass over the foot of Weiss. Caroms around a little bit. Here's Mahali. Gets a shot on net. Well over the crossbar. Well out of play.
The flower beds.
Goal
Some
kick.
Fans will receive that ball under the flag. Apologies for cutting you off.
Lucky souvenir. So it will be Alexa Bennett on the goal kick once more. A recurring theme in the first half. Carrying over already into the second half.
And of course, a slew of goal kicks deeming to be... who's number 8 on Manhattanville?
Number 8 would be Alessia Chiaffi.
Chiaffi was... I don't know if the broadcast saw that, but she was sitting here on the touchline in front of us, waving her arms up and down at the goalkeeper, asking for the goal kick. I thought that was kind of funny, sorry.
I'm calling for the ball. I mean, again, in the goal kick, that seems to have come up pretty frequently. And Alexa Bennett, all things considered, is the reason Manhattanville's still in the game. It could very easily be 3-0 Mount. That one corrals around. Another missed opportunity on the throw-in for Manhattanville. Welsh rifles that one towards the net. There's nobody home. Good job getting a head on it. That's Vasil Chiati. Still bouncing around a whole bunch. Amaral giving chase. Hansen, already a difference maker since coming back off the bench, forces the pass, and the pass is a good one. It's Tanaj. Tried to work it around Baldwin and could not. Maria Baldwin just leaves that one out of play along the far sideline.
Huge play from Baldwin there to maintain that pass. Ford would have been clearing by herself if Baldwin did not deflect that ball.
And the referees are going to say that ball deflected off of Valiant, so possession will stick with Mount St. Mary. That one ends up out of play again, I believe off another Valiant. And so the Knights will get another throw-in just in a spot well ahead of the previous one.
This game certainly would be a lot messier if the netminder Bennett has not been so consistent today. So a very good point that Manhattanville has maintained. What on God's green earth is happening here?
So Hansen lays on the ball. The referee has none of that.
Says no more.
And so with Bennett, I mean, she's made 2 incredible saves. She's let one in, and I believe, you can stop me if I'm wrong, I believe one shot on goal is attributed to the play where it was, I believe it was Lauren Weiss making the stop in front of the net on the ball. Mahali was able to get past Bennett, but, I mean, again, it could very easily be 3, even 4-0 if it weren't for 2 very impressive saves from Bennett.
Definitely a big pat on the back for the Manhattanville backline and netminder. So it could be a very, very messy bout, but they're keeping it close, and they'll just have to hope their offense can string something together to maintain or to regain a tie.
So, I mean, we'll see if Bennett can hold things down until the Valiants are able to generate some offense. As that one's lofted towards the net. Lenane leaves the immediate goalie box and able to corral that fairly easily. She'll throw it up along the near sideline for Faith Welsh. Welsh has a little bit of room to operate. Now here Chiofi coming to play defense. Welsh with a step. Welsh will try and get it past midfield, does so successfully, able to keep it in bounds, leaves it up ahead for Mora. She gets a foot on it. That one's rifled up and over that protective fence about 90 feet to our right. So someday, Bob, one of those will come to us.
I sure would hope so. That'd be a great day.
So Chiati gets it off the head. Tanko able to body it up. It's still loose in front. Dangerous game there from the Valiants. That one ends up out of play. It'll be a throw-in, I believe, for the Mount. Faith Welsh to do the honors. Welsh just leaves it short in front for Tanko. That one takes a bounce over the head of Vaso Chiati. Hansen was there in her back pocket, but nothing comes of the opportunity. Quickly picked up by Bennett. And Bob, you guessed it, another goal kick.
Calm punt here, shanked a little bit.
Another shotter, the game's
still
lone goal scorer as a lantern fly with a dangerously close call here in the broadcast booth.
Watch that one land on our cameraman's knee, and he swiped it off, and it redirected straight into Lucas's brim on his cap.
Yeah, the brim of that hat saved me from another disastrous encounter with an insect. So
it's the theme of today's broadcast: lantern flies and the dangers of them.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first broadcast really, because they're an issue just walking to and from or walking around campus, but they really haven't bothered us in the booth until today.
Of course, and we are in a small city setting, but on campus itself, there's a lot of greenery and trees, so they are common around campus.
Good move from Tanaj, able to get it inside, centering pass. Turns out to be a shot. You don't really have any depth perception when you're watching head on. You can't really tell side to side. So that one ends up behind the net. My vision is incredibly bad.
As is mine, so it makes two of us.
Yeah.
Very efficient broadcasting booth to not be able to see the play.
Between the two of us, I think we have the functional eyesight of one person. We combine to have the average eyesight. We combine to have the eyesight of the average human being.
About what is average? It's not 20/20, is it?
I have no idea.
Handball there on Tonali. It's going to be called back. I think that's about 40 yards out. It's going to be a free kick for the black and red.
Bit of a late whistle, it felt like there.
Another one, of course. They got to be sure of the call.
Of course.
Mr. Neon will measure himself out for the wall.
Jenny Amaral on the free kick.
Free kick. Wall has to be 10 yards away if you were wondering why the referee was walking like that.
So no doubt this one will just be put at least towards the net.
Oh, my.
And it was, on a technicality, it was put towards the net, but that's a bit of a reach as that one ends up well to the right, out of play behind the end line.
Miss Jenny definitely favored a shot. I just don't think she got the curl quite right.
Bob, in a game where you're down 1-0, and frankly you haven't generated any kind of offense, I mean, I feel like that ball should have been placed in the goalie box and just try and let something happen as opposed to trying to score from the parking lot.
Yeah, of course. I mean, from my perspective, it's pretty easy for a pot to call a kettle black, but you certainly should not be taking wild shots from different area codes this early in the half, of course.
I mean,
when you have a chance to play a ball in and try and generate something, you should be taking the higher percentage chance, of course.
Right. And, of course, losing a game is never a situation you want to be in. But as of right now, the deficit is still only one as Tanaj and Barone collide. That one ends up out of play behind the end line. I mean, you never want to be in a position in which you're losing, but you're still only down by a goal, and there's still 33 minutes left to play in the second half. So, I mean, obviously there's a little more pep in your step, but you don't have to hit the big red button just yet.
Absolutely not. And Nakarato's checking in here for Tonali.
That's Riley Tondini, number 24, coming out of the game.
I apologize.
It's hard because
I had the Italian name, just not the right one.
I'm the only one with a roster sheet today. As we mentioned, Bob was a late addition to today's broadcast. So the broadcast booth is set up in anticipation of there only being one person.
Actually, well, shout out SID. I love Kyle. He's a great lad. But he did mention he would try and get me sheets at halftime, and he did not. So I am kind of just off in the ocean here.
Well, we have a men's game so far. And, Bob, our mantra kind of, nobody has complained about us yet. So far, sheets, no sheets, you and I have done an all right enough job to where we're allowed to do this night in and night out.
Of course, one random soul out there is excited that I am in the booth today, I'd hope. So, no.
Now here's Schauder with a step.
that.
Schauber has already scored today. Vasil Chiati, good defense, leaves it for Hansen. Hansen, with a little bit of room to operate, tried to get a pass off, deflected out behind the end line. Corner kick coming now for the Mount.
Sometimes it's shocking that Schauder is a freshman because she looks so experienced on that wing and she generates so much pressure and so many opportunities. It's very, very impressive from such a young athlete here at our school.
And Schauder, 2 shots on goal here tonight, and so far one of them's gone in. As of right now, Schauder the difference maker.
Always great when the daycare is out and making noise. You love to see it. You don't always have to rely on your oldest specimens to make plays.
So Mahali fires that one towards the middle. Mora bodies it up, rifles that one to Hansen. Still bouncing around in the goalie box. Can the Knights get a shot off? No, they cannot. Sent away by Amaral. Mahali rifles that one towards the net. Low line drive. Beats Bennett. Just goes well to the right of the net, out of play behind the end line. So, Bob, I mean, as you were saying with the daycare, the youth movement seems to be a theme across both our men's and women's soccer teams. I mean, you and I, of course, lucky enough to do the broadcasting for both teams. I mean, the freshmen, the first-year class for both squads are already making an immediate impact.
100%. And I was getting confused by first year and freshman because when we're doing there's an opportunity here on the far side. Apologies.
I think technically they're first-year students because freshman, I guess, is dated, I suppose. But, I mean, everybody still says freshman, and nobody stopped us. So, I mean, I believe the 2 terms mean the same thing. It's just a matter of which you prefer.
There we go. I work with, what's it called? Not student ambassadoring, but I'm a part of the orientation crew. And they say it's politically correct to refer to them as first years, but they are freshmen, if that makes sense.
Right.
So I guess it's just more of like what you find is acceptable to call them.
It's subjective.
Of course. But absolutely, the youth movement has been very impressive between both sides. And I remember Coach Longacre telling me that he was operating, bless you, operating with a next man up lineup and just giving guys opportunities who've been playing well in training. So it seems to be the first years who've really been making some noise.
Well, I think you and I had talked about this on Wednesday. I mean, regardless of who you are and regardless of age, I mean, you want to put out the 11 men or women that are going to help you win the game.
I mean, always, of course. You don't want to. Of course, when no one's getting paid here, so whoever's here is just here to play.
Baldwin, good job picking the pocket. Leading pass for Tanko, just out of her reach. Fielded cleanly by Bennett. And you guessed it, Bob. What's coming here?
A little bit of a puntington from Bennett from the goalie box.
Goal kick, you guessed it. Loose in front. Or just loose towards the middle of the field. And now it'll be the Knights setting up shot. Mora with a little bit of room to operate here. Good pass up ahead for Mahali. Mahali deflects it for Mora. Mora now with a step on Birch. Birch coming in quickly to play defense. Mora gets around. Works it inside the box, centering pass intended for Tanko. Now it's Hansen.
Oh, dear.
So Hansen walking with a little bit of a limp. We hope she's okay. I mean, obviously we mentioned she left. We can't verify that she left in the first half due to injury because she did play after the incident had happened. I mean, correlation does not equal causation, but it's reasonable to assume. And that was a beautiful pass from Mora right into the shooter's pocket of Hansen. Hansen just unable to get a good foot on it. And now a whistle and a stoppage. So that'll be Drita Tanaj getting a talking to from the referees.
Referee telling her to take a bit of a chill pill. Can't be having any of that now.
28:52 in what is our first stoppage of the second half.
But to allude earlier, of course, everyone's here on the same contract, so to say. Nobody gets paid or anything, so you can just play anyone with minimal or maximum benefit, of course. So it's not professional sports, it's college sports.
So the Valiants having a difficult time taking care of the ball here as they do come away with possession, but they're forced to retreat all the way out behind midfield, and Birch turns it over. Mora gets it to Tanko. Tanko gets a body on the woman guarding her. She falls. They both fall. Shaken up, that's number 29, Lauren Weiss. And the referees finally notice the whistle quickly blown. So Weiss on all fours as the appropriate parties go in to check. And as the trainer comes out, Bob and I will briefly take a step aside. So Weiss leaves the contest Weiss leaves the contest to an appropriate applause. Checking in her absence is number 17, Ava Wade. We hope everything's okay. Weiss and Tanko collided. Both parties fell. Weiss able to leave the game under her own power, getting looked at on the sideline. Mora pushes it upfield. Weiss appears ready to check back into the contest.
Quick turnaround.
Welsh and Vasiliaki meet. That one ends up out of play.
Damn good name.
It's fun to say. What I will say is about names that are difficult to pronounce, once you finally figure out how to pronounce it, they're fun to say. As Welsh lobs one towards the net. Fair catch is made by Bennett.
Well, of course, if a color man can get into some more number talk here. Number 9, tall number 9 here on the left side of your screen from Manhattanville has checked in Johanna Gibson, who's also a leading goal scorer with 4 tallies this year. So it seems to be if a move is to be made, it's going to be made now by Manhattanville.
And Gibson standing at 5'8", just seemingly towering over everybody, at least in her immediate vicinity. As there's a whistle and a stoppage, the referee calls for the clock to be stopped.
There's no way she's 5'8". She's got to be taller.
And there's
no shot.
And there's a yellow card awarded to a Valiant. That's either Ava Wade or number 22, Noemi Montenegro. A little bit hard with no public address because you can't quite verify. But either way, somebody on Manhattanville with the appropriate slap on the wrist. It'll be a free kick now for the Mount. First yellow card of the contest for either side.
Seems to be about 30 yards out. Mahali keen to shoot from here with a 3-woman wall set up in front of her. Something will trickle in towards the back post if I were to take a wild guess, though.
Mahali was tied for the Knights' lead with 3 shots in the first half, as that one's rifled to the left of the net.
Once again, I'm wildly incorrect.
So another shot for Mahali. And again, her name comes up. She's taken a lot of shots. Not a lot of them have been accurate, but you can tell me Coach Dolan trusts her with the ball on offense.
Of course, and it never hurts to have an attacking midfielder, any midfielder for that matter, that's keen to take those and is not scared to take those. So that always keeps it in the back of the mind of the goalkeeper.
And like a broken record, it is a free kick for Alexa Bennett. Goal kick for Alexa Bennett. There we go. I've made that mistake a few times. Sometimes I stumble over my terminology. I'm only human. Now here's Tenage with a little bit of room. That one quickly deflected by De Leon Portillo. It goes back to Tenage, so the Valiants are able to try and set something up. Here's Sanchez moving in the circle. Gets it up ahead to Amy Ermshire. Now there's Moore, just rifles it out of anyone's way. Gets under the foot of Weiss. Tanko corrals it. Vaso Chiatti throws a body screen on, and it'll be a goal kick for Alexa Weber. I'd like to know how many times I've said that today. Well, maybe I'll go back and watch the broadcast, but a running I would be interested to see, because it has to be, where would you, 10, 12? I mean, it's getting up there.
It certainly is. Certainly is. As is the...
Tenage guarded tightly by Barone. The Valiants just looking for any sort of offense. That one pickpocketed by Caitlin Schotter. The Knights operating deep out of their own end, looking just to get it out in any way possible, and it'll be a throw-in for the Mount.
And if we're hitting a lull here, I'm
checking. Sorry, just checking. Not to interrupt you, Bob. I'm sorry. Checking in for the Mount. Number 8, Evie Dowd comes on in relief of Emma Mahali. Bob, the floor is yours.
Now, I was going to say anything important. Maria Baldwin's registered as 5'7". Gibson standing next to her is like half a head taller than her, so there's no dang way she's 5'8". She has to be at least like 5'10" or something.
According to the roster we were given, she's 5'8".
That's got to be a lie.
Whether or not that's accurate, we can't confirm.
Say, look, you see from here. They're standing directly next to each other. That woman is not 5'8", damn it.
Bob very clearly impassioned about this.
These valiant directors at the athletic department are lying.
They're shaving numbers.
They are. Pulling a Kevin Durant on us.
Yeah, I mean, the NBA just nobody's the height they say they are in the NBA. And
NBA is an odd place.
Fresh into the game, it's Dowd putting the moves on, forcing a turnover is Manhattanville, but it ends up right in the lap of Destillion and Nacarado. Nacarado putting the moves on, leading pass now for Hansen. Hansen working outside the box, waltzes it back inside, fires wrapped up by Bennett.
Hard cross there. Bennett fit for the challenge once again. Eats it straight into the stomach and holds on. Not always the easiest thing to hold on to those low-driven crosses because it's usually hammered as hard as you can hit them to try and get it across the goal line.
And so again, I mean, and it was an incredible goal from Schotter, but a goal nonetheless. And really, that's the only blemish on Bennett's resume so far this afternoon. You can go as far to say it's really the only blemish on the Valiant's resume so far this afternoon. And, I mean, so far, that's the only goal of the contest. That's the difference maker. As of right now, it's Nacarado with room, a little bit of speed to work. A miscommunication there between her and Mora, it seems. That ball goes out behind the end line untouched. And another goal kick for Bennett.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate when one shot does result in a goal when you're having such a good day as the Valiants are, but they also have to be leaning towards offense and figure out some way to score here as there's 23 minutes remaining in the match.
I mean, again, as you and I alluded to, you can play as good of defense as you want. Ultimately, if you don't score, you're not going to win the game. You can't win the game. And you know, Bob, I always say the best defense is a good offense. And that has not been the case for Manhattanville.
Of course. As the saying goes, defense wins championships, offense sells tickets, but can't win games if you have no offense.
So we'll see if Manhattanville has anything left in the tank. There's still a sizable amount of time left, 23 minutes and counting down. But at some point now, if you're Manhattanville, you have to kick it into overdrive. There's just
Definitely
Welsh.
agree on that one.
A little bit of room, leaves it up ahead. It's Tanko. Tanko with a step, guarded by Montenegro. Works her way around Montenegro, tries to get it inside. We'll leave it just outside the top of the box. It's Mora. Mora works it more towards the middle of the field, gets a shot off. That one blocked by Weiss. Mora will try again. Fires for Bennett off the crossbar. Still loose in front. Hansen comes in. Shanks that one. Ends up out of play behind the end line. But Bob, the Knights, a few inches away from picking up some insurance.
Yeah, we've definitely hit a lull here for the last few minutes, but that was a monstrous shot that got unleashed there from outside of the box. And a little bit of a warning shot for Manhattan. That'll definitely wake them up.
So the crowd drawn back into the game. As you had mentioned, the contest hit a little bit of a lull. Grace Mora rifles one off the crossbar. The second chance from Hansen, no good. And Manhattanville catches a break. And again, Bob, as you just alluded to, I mean, if you're Manhattanville, that has to be some kind of wake-up call.
It certainly does, and when you're playing such a good match and you're only down one here, you got to find a way to go for broke and get yourself that equalizing goal when you're on the road.
And at least with the way the contest has gone so far, I mean, obviously anything can happen, but you feel like an insurance goal for the Knights. If the Knights can go up by 2, I feel like that would be the dagger.
That would be the point of no return if they can double the advantage here, as the folks would say. So it would definitely be – the Knights would definitely be keen to go find that.
And there's 21 minutes left. I mean, obviously plenty of time. But in a game where Manhattanville has generated little to no offense, I mean, I think an insurance goal for the Mount would mean the world.
It certainly would, and that would most likely mean a victory, as an additional shove is had on the ground against Nacarado. That will result in a free kick from the Mount right on top of the M.
I mean, the referee having none of that. That one pretty obvious there.
Just a wee bit.
We'll see.
As a free kick will be booted away. Sorry to interrupt you. Baldwin will probably hit one as hard as she can from on top of the midline circle.
Tempers haven't flared by any means, but that foul a little more blatant than the other ones. I mean, if you're the Valiants, I mean, you're still only down 1. You have to keep your head in the contest here.
We're fine. Can't give away anything too egregious, as Gibson is going to try and work her way through here. See what the number 9 can come up with.
Guarded by De Leon Portillo. Portillo with the poke check, but it'll end up out of play. It'll stay the way of the Valiants. The Valiants operating on the outer edge of the attacking third, we'll see if they can get the ball inside, which has been a struggle today. Here's Tenaj with a step, guarded by Hansen. Hansen, good pickup defense there. DeLeon Portillo rifles it out of play. It'll be another throw-in now for Manhattanville. Under 20 minutes to play, and this is the best field position the Valiants have had all half.
And if I can point out, last half, the Valiants only spent 11% of their possession time in the attacking third, so they'll have to try and find a way to increase that percentage of possession.
Ava Wade, the pass inside, blocked by Hansen. Another throw-in coming for the Valiants. She'll work that towards the middle. It's Tenaj, as Bob, you alluded to earlier in the broadcast, the leading goal scorer for this Valiants team. Wade gets one towards the net. Nobody home. That shot not particularly close. Out of play behind the end line. Goal kick coming. Checking in, number 9. I was right. Number 9, Isabella Milburn, coming in for the Mount. Checking back in for the Valiants, number 11, Nadia Parisi. So Milburn comes on in relief of Hansen. Under 20 minutes to play. Your score still 1-0.
Very close contest here as the Lady Knights will try and shepherd in 3 points, a rare 3 points against the Manhattan side that we have not beaten since, I think, 2021.
And I mean, you and I have been talking about it all broadcast, but the Knights are 18 minutes and 44 seconds away from this being the first game with a decision since that would be 2021.
Yes, and I don't know.
Now here's Welsh with a step, a little bit of room to work, catching the Valiants in transition. Welsh picked up by Montenegro. Welsh will work it all the way towards the end line. Montenegro falls, no whistle. Welsh keeps the ball, sends that one towards the middle, right at Bennett, makes the catch, falls on it. Nothing doing.
And I would presume it was a playoff game. The last time we were victorious against Manhattan was in a double overtime game.
Interesting. So that would be playoffs because
we do not play overtime in the regular season.
If you've tuned into any of the broadcasts we've done before, it always comes up that the game is over once the second half ends. There's no penalty kicks. There's no overtime. It's just 90 minutes. You're in and you're out. Tanko, good job creating separation. Leaves it for Mora towards the outside of the box. Mora narrowly missed a goal just a couple of minutes ago. She gets around Montenegro, works it towards the middle. Tried to get it to Tanko. Tanko comes up with a little hobble. Now here's Welsh, rifles that one towards the net. Nobody home. Well to the left of the net.
I think she was keen for a shot there, fancied it. Tanko was just a tad bit offside on that transition there, so Welsh's only option was to take a rip. Just mishit it a tad bit.
So Grace Moore has done a good job getting balls inside. She's had nice centering passes to both Caitlin Hansen and now Lily Tanko. Just neither party able to get a solid foot on it. So the opportunities have been there, the execution not quite.
Of course, always so difficult for nines and forwards to be finding that final touch when you're being blanketed by 1 to 2 center backs at all times.
Gibson works around Portillo. Tenaj guarded by Barone. Barone able to knock that one away. So, I mean, obviously, no matter how much you win or lose by, there's always room for improvement. But ultimately, I mean, the Knights are winning the game.
Of course, and they don't ask how, they ask how many. And at the end of the day, if you get 3 points, you get 3 points.
Now here's Schotter with a step. Still the lone goal scorer from today. Good defensive effort there from Weiss, again inside the goalie box. Knocks that one down before it can become anything. Out of play behind the end line. And I believe this will be a corner kick now for the Mount.
Acrobatic effort at that. She was scissor kicked that one out of bounds.
Emma Mahali out of the game, and she's done most of the free and corner kicks for the Mount. So doing the honors now is number 6, Grace Mora. And for a woman who has done a good job getting the ball inside, this seems to be the fitting choice for a corner kick. The Knights elect not to drop a play. She just leaves it for Nakarado on the outside of the box. Leaves it again for Mora. Good defense there from the Valiants. The clearing attempt, not as strong as they'd have hoped, taken away by Portillo. Now here's Welsh, guarded by Montenegro along the near sideline. Welsh can't get a step. Good defense there from Montenegro. That one ends up out of play behind the end line. Out of play. Trying to figure out where the referees are awarding possession. It'll be a goal kick for the Valiants.
Yeah, another goal kick. Welsh cannot keep control of the ball. Very difficult to get that inside possession when the defender gets a shoulder on you, pushing you towards the end line. They're not going to let you touch that ball. Very, very hard for a winger to be able to get around that.
So 15 minutes to play. That pass picked off by Dowd. Good defense there. Mora picked up by Sanchez and Montenegro, both working along the end line, centering pass in the middle. That one kicked straight up by Weiss. Welsh gets a foot on it. Welsh well outside the box. She'll take the shot well to the high and wide of the net. Well to the right.
Oof.
And so the display of power has been there for the Knights, but again, not much accuracy.
No, not much accuracy at all, and quite frankly, not a lot of efficiency. Not great when you're trying to hold onto a lead and you're giving away the ball in fashions like that.
So the Knights clinging to that 1-goal advantage, nearing the last lap here in what has been a beautiful Saturday afternoon.
Very, very comfortable, sunny and 75, as we previously mentioned.
Milburn working with it along the far sideline, collides with Tanaj.
You have quite a nice background to this field when you're watching from home on the camera.
We do. This is a pleasant viewing experience. Caitlin Hansen, the captain, checks back into the game. She comes on in relief of Grace Mora. A throw in now for the Mount, and we'll see if they have an insurance goal somewhere in their bag of tricks. And it is a gorgeous scenery. It's always a pleasant viewing experience. And as we were talking about earlier, I mean, the last few games that we've done, the weather has not been great. So this is a much appreciated change of speeds.
Good bit of a treat.
Good defense there from Barone and Milburn both, locking that down before it can turn into anything serious. Barone leaves that one straight up. It'll stay on the field of play. Remains in bounds. Possession changing hands faster than a pinball machine. It's Nacarado just getting it out of anyone's way. Giving chase, it's Montenegro and Hansen both. Montenegro does have a step. She will get to it first and just knock it out of play. Throw in coming for the Mount. It'll be Welsh from around the middle of the Knights attacking third. Nacarado leaves it for Hansen. Hansen double teamed. A bug landed on my shoulder. Hansen falls. Looks to the ref for any sort of assistance. Assistance she will not get. Ends up all the way past midfield, fielded by Baldwin. Just rifles it along the near sideline. It will end up out of play. So, I mean, with there was a yellow card earlier in the second half, but that notwithstanding, it has been a pretty smooth game from both sides.
Absolutely. Not a whole lot of fouls. Very different from last week when we saw, or not last week, earlier in the week, Sarah Lawrence and the Mount in the men's game. So much, much cleaner here, but definitely a slower matchup as we've gotten into the second half.
For sure. And then the Knights, I don't know if they've parked the bus just yet, but it does feel that way. I mean, I don't know how intentional it is to be parking the bus by this point, but still Manhattanville just nothing on offense.
Of course, and keeping a very, very close mark on Gibson here up top and keeping two defensive midfielders definitely helps with maintaining the counterattack.
Dowd and Parisi go at it right in the midfield circle. Baldwin gets a foot on it. Nacarado controls it, taken away by Parisi. Nacarado guarded tightly by Parisi. The Valiants need to turn this defense into any kind of offense. Good clearing effort there. Deep in the Valiants' own end, fielded by Bennett to be another goal kick. So we're at 70 minutes and change into the contest, and just no offense at all for the Valiants. No shots on target, no shots on goal, no shots, period. Just, I mean, the offense, the inconsistencies have been there, but the defense has been a complete fire blanket all game.
Really has been maintaining any sort of spreading of malicious intent and keeping in a very, very close game.
Gibson and Baldwin go at it. Baldwin comes away victorious, and now here's Tanaj with a step. See if the Valiants can generate anything. Just gets it back to Sanchez, back to Tanaj. The Knights not giving the Valiants any room to work. Tanaj tried to get it to Chiaffi. A sea of white shuts that down as quickly as it started. Nacarado feels the ball, collides with Sanchez. Sanchez able to come away with that one. It's left for Amaral. That one fired well out of reach of anybody in black. Baldwin knocks it down, gets it to Welsh. Welsh operating along the near sideline. Looks to the ref for something. That ball kept inbounds. Good job there from the Mount to not turn it over. Here's Hansen operating along the near sideline. Up ahead, it's Tanko. Tanko guarded by Weiss. Weiss slides, can't take out Tanko. She stays on her feet, but she can't catch up to the ball. It goes all the way out behind the end line, out of play.
For a corner kick.
For a corner kick. The hard part about the referee in the corner, I can't see where he's awarding possession. So it'll be Hansen now to take the free kick.
Just a tad difficult to keep track of.
Mahali and Mora, the prior corner kick takers, are both out of the game by this point.
So I leave senior Caitlin Hansen to be the set piece taker for these final 10 minutes.
Nobody in white in Hansen's vicinity, so I believe this ball will be put on the net. Different than the last one, where Mora just dropped it off for Nacarado. So the Knights looking for some insurance. Hansen sends it away. Bennett sticks her arms up, makes the catch fairly easily, and we are under 10 minutes to play here. Bennett opts for the throw instead of the kick. It's a good one. Chiaffi, guarded by Schotter. Chiaffi maintains possession. Will just loft it up ahead for Gibson. Gibson guarded by Portillo as the Valiants wait for numbers. That one taken away by Barone. Barone tried to get it to Portillo, and that is a turnover out of play along the far sideline. So the Valiants will get a throw-in deep in their attacking third. And now, Bob, it feels like it's the time to hit the big red button.
Most definitely, and it's going to be very, very difficult for Manhattanville as the Mount are double marking Gibson as frequently as they can, so they're going to have to try and find ways up the wings to open up that space more.
That throw-in quickly picked off. So now the Knights will move in the other direction, waiting for numbers. Good defense there from Manhattanville. Parisi just gets it upfield. Baldwin returns fire. So it's Sanchez operating out of the midfield circle. Leaving it. Now here's Gibson. Gibson drops it back. It's Sanchez. Sanchez gets it up ahead. It's Tanaj. Tanaj guarded by Welsh. Welsh, good defense. Tanaj falls. There's a whistle, but the ball will go the way of the Knights. Tanaj sends the ball out of bounds for what I can only assume is frustration.
Most likely, or just being annoying towards the other team, of course.
I can appreciate a good inconveniencing of your opponent, but I mean,
of course.
In a game you're losing 1-0 where offense has been at a complete premium, I think frustration is probably the better bet.
Yeah, most likely. It's definitely not the best to let that get the hold of you, because frequently you see teams, when they're down late, they'll actually be giving the ball back to the opposing team to get that throw-in going as soon as possible.
Barone tiptoeing along the end line, unable to keep it in play. Goal kick coming for the Valiants. 7:49 to play. The clock is stopped as two new substitutions come on. It's Riley Tondini and Grace Mora checking back into the contest. Deliciana Nacarado and Isabella Milburn will come off. Coming back on for the Valiants, number 23, Gianna Kafari.
So some fresh legs at the defensive midfield position for the Knights and some experience at the wing to try and shepherd in this 1-0 victory in these final 7.5 minutes.
So the Knights protecting this one-goal lead, single-digit minutes to play. And then now, if you're the Knights, just 7 minutes and 49 seconds of defense will take you straight to the win column. Hansen wears it off the head. Good defense there. It's Sanchez, lobs it upfield right into Tondini. And for the Valiants, I mean, I know we've harped on how poor the offense has been, but it really just feels like they can't get more than 2 or 3 passes without there being a Knight in the way.
Absolutely, and I think that's just a testament to how suffocating the Knights' defense has been today, just not allowing the Manhattanville Valiants to build up anything at all.
So here's Parisi, 7:15 to play. Still plenty of time to make something happen, but that does not appear, but if the trend from the first 80 minutes holds true, I can't imagine much else will change. We'll see. The Valiants working with it. And the Knights end, that one out of play. It'll be a throw-in for Manhattanville. So on comes Custer's last stand. It's Wade to throw it in now for Manhattanville. Gets it to Gibson, who the Knights have done a good job managing to contain.
Done a great job of containing both high-end goal scorers here. Definitely a very impressive performance on the back line of the Mount.
Schotter blows past the defense, has a little bit of room to work, but no Knights in sight. Now it's Tanko up ahead. That one quickly blown offside, much to the objection of Tanko and the rest of the Knights sideline.
Definitely seemed like she disguised that run well enough, but suppose she leaned just a tad bit off sides. Very unlucky call there, but of course you're up a goal with 6 minutes left, so no need to cry over spoiled milk.
So the Valiants can let out an exhale, as that was shaping up to be a solid opportunity for the Mount.
It most certainly was. Unfortunate to get an opportunity taken away from you, so the Mount will just have to reset and try and hunker down for these last 6 minutes.
Bennett fires away, low line drive, goes off the side of the head of Kufari, but Kufari able to draw a whistle. Free kick coming now for the Valiants.
Definitely a dangerous position here. The Mount are going to have to be very, very careful. A ball is probably going to be dropped in towards the penalty spot, trying to find a head or a foot. And trying to create some sort of chaos.
Taking the honors, it's Amaral. Amaral, there's the Knights packing the house in the goalie box in front of Linane. The Valiants with 5. Rifles that one towards the net. It looks like it's just a shot. The Valiants go and get it out of play to the left of the net behind the end line. The vision was there for Manhattanville. The execution was not. And we stays 1-0.
They disguised Tanaj into the back post, and I think that ball was just a hint over hit. Otherwise, that would have been a perfect execution for a free kick goal and level. But we remain 1-0 here, as the Knights will try and eke out these last few minutes.
Hansen's pass picked off by Weiss, both sides towing with it right around the midfield line. Tanko gets a body on it, guarded by Sanchez and Weiss. Tanko falls. Weiss comes away with it. Weiss pass well up ahead. Tanaj was in the area, but that pass just plainly too far out of reach. So it'll be a throw-in for the Mount deep in their own end. Welsh looking for any open targets. Looking now, it's Schotter right along the sideline. She can't quite catch up to it, but that ball somehow stays in play, and it ends up out of play off of Sanchez.
Now I'm going to see here the experience coming out from the upperclassmen of the Mount. They're going to be taking in much time as humanly possible with every throw-in they get.
So Welsh figuring out what to do with the ball. Beautiful pass up ahead at Schotter. Schotter, tight defense on Weiss. Weiss just kicks it out of play.
Going to be a corner kick for the Knights. They'll take even more time here.
3 minutes, 45 seconds counting down. Again, a lot of time, but still, I mean, we are approaching, this is the last lap.
Of course, some sort of whistle.
A whistle somewhere. I think both sides are just getting ready. I mean, if you're the Mount, you're putting this one on the net, you're hoping to pick up some insurance, but for the most part, you're just concerned with playing defense for the last 3.5 minutes. Sends that one towards the net, goes off the side of the cage. Goal kick coming.
At this point in the match, I'm actually shocked the Mount didn't elect to sit the ball on the corner. Frequently, you'll see a second attacker come up close to the corner kick taker, let the corner kicker roll it into them, and just sit on the corner flag as long as you can. But it seems to be that's not the vision here.
And we saw that not too long ago. I mean, the corner kick that the Knights let Grace Mora do, Mora just left it in the neighborhood. Nacarado came and picked it up. And you're right, Bob. I mean, for a point in the game where you just try and take off as much time as possible, it is not weird, but it is peculiar that the Knights have decided to go for the net.
100%. But, of course, they'll be very happy to milk as much time as they can if Manhattanville is not going to threaten any sort of attack going forward here.
Right, as that ball rattles around along the far sideline, yet another throw-in for the Mount. 2 minutes and 38 seconds away from closing out what has been a defensive masterpiece.
For sure,
Schotter.
some tape to hang up in the Louvre for the Mount's defense.
Now here's Hansen with a step. Hansen is onside, working just outside the goalie box, rifles that one high. Well behind the end line. Another goal kick for Bennett and the Valiants. And so the ball from the previous play somehow ended up in the back of the net, so Bennett has to do some yard work before play can continue. And if this were football, it would be the 2-minute warning, but it's not. So now we just have 2 minutes left to play. 2 minutes and counting down. Bennett's goal kick taken away by the Knights. We'll see if the Valiants have any fight left in them for what is the last lap, rifling it upfield and into the seats.
Oh, my.
A
Lucky
souvenir.
fan caught that one. Whoops.
A souvenir for what we can only assume is one lucky alumni here on what is a beautiful alumni day.
Very nice way to start the alumni day if the Mount can see this through for the last minute and a half.
And ladies and gentlemen, just as a reminder, don't go anywhere because the men's soccer team plays against Manhattanville at 3 p.m. Eastern. That pass intended for Hansen. Hansen thought about it, elects to just let it go past the end line.
Abigail Roy checking in. Abigail Roy, there we go. I was leaning back and it sounded like I said Royal. Abigail Roy checking in for the Valiants as the 60-second mark is hit here into the second half.
Under a minute to play. The Valiants. Interesting to make a substitution this late in the contest. Was it this Wednesday that was Constitution Day, or was that last?
I think it was
Wednesday?
last when you had the pocket Constitution on you.
Fair enough. But it is interesting to make a substitution just considering how much time it takes. I mean,
Really does,
the
yes.
Valiants did lose a few seconds there.
Certainly an oddity.
So now the Knights just looking to park the bus for the last 30 seconds. As the ball is deep in the Valiants' end, they have to move with some sort of urgency just to get to the ball on the other side of the field. There's 22 seconds, some miscommunication. Bennett finally gets rid of the ball, gets it to Sanchez. Sanchez deflects it. Tondini catches it. Now it's Parisi, sends it upfield. The last stand now for the Valiants. Dinaj and Welsh going at it. Welsh able to come away with it in less than 10 seconds to play. Welsh sends it out of bounds. They both collide. They both fall. A whistle, but the clock will not stop. And, Bob, that'll take us to the finish line. Your Mount St. Mary Knights 1-0 winners this afternoon.
All right, an exciting one there. And very, very, very close matchup. First time in a long time that a result is had here at Kaplan against the Valiants. 3 points for the Knights. And we'll move on to round 2 in a little bit.
So Caitlin Schotter in the 40th minute of the first half scores the game's only goal. Your final this afternoon here on Alumni Day. The Mount St. Mary Knights 1, the Manhattanville Valiants 0. Some technical difficulties here to my right.
Apologies.
But Bob, obviously we're back for the 3 p.m. game, the men's game. But any closing thoughts on what was a defensive masterpiece from Mount St. Mary?
Very, very impressive play from the back line. Once again, very impressive. Not fireworks, of course, but that's been the tale of the tape between these two teams. So it's exciting and phenomenal that the Knights come back with 3 wins. God help us. 3 points here as we close out the first half of our doubleheader.
So the Knights defend the home ground. Bob and we will be back in about an hour for the men's soccer game. Once again, your final this afternoon. The Knights 1, the Valiants 0. Thank you for making us a part of your Saturday afternoon. And if you're sticking around, we will see you for the next one.
See you soon.